am I going to be covering today in this live special edition of prepping for Starfinder in Fantasy Grounds Unity? Notice how my shirt melds into the background of ideas. That's right. So tonight, normally we are knee deep in our game session, knee deep, but we had to postpone till next week. Next week we'll be doing Dawn of Flame, so definitely come by, check it out. 5:30 on in the P's and the M's Eastern time. Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time. So tonight we're going to be looking. Our group had leveled up last week, and so with that level up comes new abilities. Starfinder is rife with lots of cool stuff that players can do. Lots of little niche things that they can do in certain situations. So whereas fancy 5e is more general. You have +1 hit. When you get into a fight, you can rage and take half damage and do extra damage. Simple, basic stuff. Whereas Starfinder has, if you're in 0 gravity, you get a plus to your attack, and you can ignore cover. And if the moon is in its waning gibbous state, then you get a +5 to your attacks. So it's much more situational for a lot of their things. Having said that, 5e has also been being simpler, has a way that you can take a coding effect, put it into your actions page, and it'll be listed under spells. You can then throw that into the spells and then drag that coding back into any character. And so that's how a lot of all the coding packages are done. Well, Starfinder, you can't do that because you have actions and you have spell slots, and it have to be very particular things the way everything is spelled out. So it's much more complicated to do that type of thing. So therefore, having said that, why that's important to what our discussion tonight is because I now have to go back through and code their actions. And by half, I don't have to. I choose to because I think it makes it easier for the players and more enjoyable. My players are not hardcore gamers like I am, not hardcore RPers. Uh, this Starfinder game is the only game that a couple of them play in at all. And so having them rely on their stuff is hard enough as it is. Keep track of all the different things they can do. So I try to do my best to make it as easy for them as possible, put everything in one section. So we have for example, our Technomancer. At level 2, he got a magic hack besides his spells. So his magic hack he got was a quick scan. So quick scan says you have studied the forces. Oh, here it is. Quick scan. Wink. Okay, I'm not sure why that's listed there. Let's throw this over here. Poof. See if it works this time. It does not. There we go. All right, so the first one, for whatever reason, just came up as the list of their special features, the magic hacks. So we'll just delete this. So if you right click on it, delete the item. Are you sure? Yep. Now all we're left with is our actual feature. Okay, anyway. So this is a magic hack Level 2. Quick scan is what he got. Now, what does SU mean? Doesn't mean sucks. It means supernatural. It's a supernatural ability. So, as a magic standard action, you get a general sense of what information is stored on drives or other digital storage media. You must pass your hand in the air near the data source, but you don't have to touch it or connect to it. Alright, so you can also do this in a robot. Even a mechanic with an exoskeleton, an exocortex, I mean. I would allow them to do it there as well. So this is not something that needs to be coded to be used during combat. This just needs to be coded to remind him that it exists. In a perfect world, my players would be in the habit of checking the combat tracker and having the combat tracker open as we're playing. And so you can see they have a lot of things in the combat tracker. And so what they should be doing is just looking through this. Okay, I'm an astroseismologist. I get a -5 difficulty check on physical science. I have fur, which gives me a +2 fortitude versus cold to heat, and +4 fortitude versus contact disease and poison. Etc., etc. And you can look at all these things. You can also break it down if you click on the effects. It makes it a little bit easier to read. Characters can do that as well. You can even turn them on and off. So if you have something like a rage or an armor that you take on and off, you can just click it. Haste circuit, for example, is a good one because it uses up a battery. So you leave it off most of the time, but then you can just turn it on and then leave it on. So here you could then see like this one's recall spell, reroll check to recall knowledge. He's already used that today, so it's off. When you're ready to turn back on, just click it. Now it's on again. It's visible. All right. So I'm actually going to turn that back on. I'm pretty sure it's we go. All right. So that's how we're going to code this one as well. This is a class feature for technomancers. It's not a spell cache. So we are going to open this up to add another section. This is Magic Hack. Now over here, add item. This is quick scan. Scan data device as standard action. Now, I always, when I code these things, I open these up and I fill this in. If you're not sure exactly how it's supposed to look, you can go right here, source, core rulebook, technomancer, a magic, a hacky hack, level, a 2, and then you just go here, Control A, Control C, Control V, boom. So now it is all right here. All he has to do is click this and it tells him what it does. All of the things here act the same way. So the other thing we now need to do is we need to add it so that we can add it to the combat tracker. So right click here, add ability, add effect. This is self. It can also, or it can be target. Here, this is to himself. We can click here, or you can open it up and type it in. Same difference. So this is magic hack. This is quick scan, standard action to scan data device. And that's all I'm doing. Boom, we add it. It's now here. Do a quick skim, make sure everything else is good. Dark vision with a range of 60 feet and low light vision. Dark vision, no light. Okay, perfect. Just double checking, making sure everything on the abilities page has been coded like we wanted it to. Wary. I do not have that coded. We do have the acrobatic and stealth. Yep. Boom. Boom. He doesn't have a profession right now, so I'm not going to worry about that part of it. All right, so we do have this. So let's go ahead and go to our actions. So this says feats. It is a feat. Isn't anywhere to really put this. So let's go ahead and delete this extra thing. All right, so let's see. So for racial traits, I don't like making a whole nother section. But you know what? I don't really see much choice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is add a weapon. This is a section. So it's going to be racial traits. It's just going to be one section. And he is a Patra. Click. The ability is none. Class level. Yep. Close it. All right. So we have racial traits. Close it. There we go. First one. Second one is wary. And the first one was nimble. Nimble. Off. kilter. Benefits. And then wary +2 versus charm, compulsion. Now we open these up. I'm not sure. Let's see what book is the Patra in? Starfinder Alien Archive 2. Alien Archive 2. No class. Feature is racial trait. Alright, so this one is wary. Be wary, wary, quiet. I'm a patois. There we go. Go back to our actions. Open up our Nimble. Again, same thing. Alien Archive 2. Racial feet. That's why he has two, because he's a humanoid. He has 2 feet. Just kidding. Alright, here we go. Boom. His race has 2 feet. Alright, boom. They actually have 4, but that's okay. Close it. Copy it. Boom. Alright, so the reason I'm doing this is just to make sure that there aren't returns on this edge. Sometimes if you're copying from like a PDF or something, sometimes they can be returns and you just have to fix it. If that didn't make sense, don't worry about it. Alright, so now we just go right click, we go blink, we go add effect. Self, he is nimble. Call him Jack because he's nimble. Off kilter benefits. Add it. Plus, I've also put this sometimes under passive. So like if I have a operative, they have tons and tons of feats and different tricks and things. So I have a section for it called passive abilities. And the cool thing about that is you don't even have to read them. They're on your combat tracker. You don't have to look at them. I mean, you can, obviously, but you don't need to because it's passive, so they're there all the time. Alright, so last racial is it gets +2 versus charm. Compulsion. Okay, that's it. Add it. Oh, wait. This is wary. So I would do I always put what it is, because if I just have +2 versus 4 in cold and heat, they're like, where the hell is that coming from? What's it for? Trust me, especially as you get higher level, this +2 versus charm crap isn't going to fly, because you're like, what's that from? Is it from their biohacker that shot him with something, so he gave him a +2? Is it a spell that he cast because he's a technomancer? So you always want to put why it gives him these things, and you'll see that on all of my things. What it is, and then what it does. What it is, what it does. What it is, what it does. What it is, what it does. Boom. Alright, so he's finished. We have his biohacker crap that he got at level 2. We got his racial stuff. Bing, bang, boom, like a glove. So Orindor is our other Technomancer here. We're going to do the same thing with his stuff. So he got harmful spells. So we go down here, we grab it and drag it. Boom, harmful spells. We're going to throw magic. Hackety hack, don't talk back. Harmful spells, delete the other one. So boom. So now we have this. When you cast an instantaneous spell that deals damage, you can increase the spell's damage by half your Technomancer level. This increased damage applies to all creatures damaged by an area spell, but spells target multiple creatures. Only a single ray or missile. This increased damage doesn't apply to ongoing damage. Doesn't increase ability damage or other spell effects. Only damage to stamina or hit points. Alright. So they make it pretty clear what it is. So this does have to be coded. Because he gets +1 to his damage. So there's 2 ways of doing it. Let's see, what else are we doing here? Alright. Clear. Close. There's 2 ways of doing this. One, you can go into all of his spells and add a +1, +1, +1, +1. Let's see. Is there a way to do it here? No. No. So there's spell penetration, there's concentration check mods. His stat is intelligence. Gives him how many spells per day, how many spells known. All that stuff is here, but it does not allow you to add a bonus to damage, which is logical. It shouldn't. So, like I said, you can go in here and add it to every single +1, +1, +1, +1, but then you have to change it every level. I don't want to do that. So, let's see. Actually, that might be a wiser life choice. Let me look. Here we go. Multiplier. Class level. It's half class level. Not even. Odd. Okay, so we'll just go with even. There we go. So that's the easier way to do it. Boom. Because now, as he levels up, it will go up as well. Overheat also has one. Open up the magnifying glass. Even class level. Supercharge. Alright, so this does not work because it's not an instantaneous spell. Okay. Energy Ray is an instantaneous spell. So this will help his a lot. Because this is a piece of crap spell, typically. Now, it does one more. So that is nice. And every level will go up. So that's pretty darn cool. Alright, mending is transfer. Okay. Where is Orindor? So you can see I already load recall, yep. Alright, so his magic hack is done. And we will double check actions. So let's see, he's having luck, he's sneaky. Spell cache. Theme knowledge. Check the abilities. Yep. Sure-footed, what is this? Alright. And luck. Alright, so he has +1 to all his saving throws because of his racial ability. Halflings are so cool. They're so cool. Oh my word. They are so cool. Halflings are like the bomb. Boom. So this is what it looks like. See? Boom. We just did Loki. Now we're working on Orndor stuff. Alright, so he's done. Last is our mechanic. Twitch. Twitchity twitch twitch. Alright, so he has a lot of stuff. All coded. You see, even here, it's got a lot of stuff. Okay. But first, let's see what he gets. Alright, so he got a mechanic trick. Looking to see which one he got. Data processor, mechanic trick. Visual data processor, okay. Energy shield, I think is what she chose. Alright, so her intelligence mod is 3. Intelligence modifier plus your mechanic level, okay? Plus level. Alright, folks, so give me just 2 heartbeats. Let me see if I can Ha! Fooled you. You thought you were going to have to watch the intro again. Alright, so we got clarification, confirmation. Let's open up Energy Shield again. Okay, now we click and drag this over. Boink, Energy Shield. Alright, so this time I actually did it the way it was supposed to, so I'll leave it that way. Except for, I'm going to put here, level 2. Because that's what he got at level 2. Because I get so many at so many different levels. Alright, so we will now blink. Alright, why do they have 2 custom rigs? Level 1, level 2, okay. Well, there is no... That's weird that they would have the same exact thing at level 1 and level 2. So we're going to get rid of 1. She got it at level 1, so I'm just going to delete the level 2 one. Alright. Anywho, what does bypass do? +1 bonus to computers and engineering checks. Okay. So that should be reflected in her skills under miscellaneous. Engineering +1, computer +1. Yay. See, I do know what I'm doing. Alright, feat and race. There you go, that's one way of doing it. I just put them all together. Mechanic. Alright, here we go. So under mechanic, we have 2 right now. Plus, create magnifying glass. So now our section is going to be 3. So the third section is mechanic tricks. Because she'll be getting more of them as life goes on. We add plus. This one is energy shield. EX stand for extraordinary ability, I think. I don't remember. Something like that. Temp HP. Alright, so now we go now we open this up to explain what it is, what it does. Source, core, rulebook, class, mechanic, feature, mechanic trick, level 2. Boom. We open this up. That's a read only. Alright, so I apologize. You may want to skip ahead about 2 minutes. As a standard action, you can use your custom rig to activate an energy shield around yourself. This shield provides you with a number of temporary hit points equal to your intelligence modifier plus your mechanic level. The shield remains active for 1 minute. Per mechanic level. or until all of its temporary hit points are depleted, whichever comes first. Once used, you cannot use this ability again until you spend one resolve point to regain stamina points after a 10, it should be during, but that's okay. A 10-minute rest. Your shield automatically shuts off during this period of rest. Well, that's dumb. It only lasts a minute. I'm not going to put that last little tiny bit in there. Who knows? One day I might come to regret that. But I doubt it. All right, there you go. So now we have all this information here. So now let's code it. So how do we code it? Right click, action. This time it is heal. Open it up. Type temp. Go here to add item. There are no dice. It is simply the stat, which is int. Which one is this? Okay, plus. So either one. Class level. Intelligence modifier plus your mechanic level. So right now, 3. That's not right. Her class level is... Okay. No. Why does it say 1? Her class level is 2. Alright, so let's see. Class level plus int shouldn't be 3, it should be 3 plus 2. It's telling me I'm crazy, man. Alright, so no dice multiplier. So this is, let's go with class level. Okay, intent is 3. So if we did class level, that's 2. Maybe it's being stupid, so let's add 2. Let's add another one. There you go. Alright, so class level and then intelligence. So he's got 5. Character level. Oh, it's caster level, okay. 2. 2. All right. So there we go. Energy shield, 5 temporary hit points. She has 1 use of it every rest. All right, and so according to our handy dandy notebook, that is it for today for what we wanted to do with the coding. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up a different one, going to a different campaign, pulling up a map. So the map is of an old abandoned building. And over a couple hundred years, this mold has taken over the entire building and spread out throughout the entire building. And so it then culminates in this final room where the information is that they have to gather is located, and this sentient moss attacks them. It's called a Writher swarm. Um, so I want to add mold to the map because there's no mold in the map. There's only like a little splotch here, splotch there. The description of the room says, for example, it's like a bunch of cubicles that are gray mounds because of the mold. Well, that's clearly not what the map looks like. So I'm going to add some of that. I already did the one room, the big bad fight room, but I made a tiny mistake in that as I was rereading it. Um, it says that the 2 main consoles, the entire room is covered in white from this mold, except for the 2 main consoles. They are clear of mold. So I did not know that, so I need to delete that section of that layer where the mold is. It looks really cool. I think I did a good job um, of adding this mold and then adding shadow on top of the mold so that instead of just having a blanket of snow or white, you have these shadows where these large objects are. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the other molds. Some of it's gray, some of it doesn't say. So it's going to be different, various shades of gray. How many? Who knows? I'm thinking probably nowhere close to 49, but maybe 2 or 3 shades of gray. All right, here we go. So unlock. So right click anywhere in the chat, unlock it, pull it up just a little bit. I don't really need to, but it's me. All right, so just so you know a little bit more what's going on. This is where they are. They're now in the Broken Lands, and they went to this last building here, possibly even this one. It doesn't really say really clear which area it is, but this is the office I was talking about. Let's wait while it loads. There it is. And we break Fancy Grounds. Alright, so this is the final boss room I was telling we were talking about. It's covered in mold. Didn't want to get too crazy. I wanted them to be able to see like the wires and stuff that are there. So we go to our moss layer. and we turn it off to make sure. See, this is what it looked like originally. Then we added the moss. So now we need to go back into the painting layer. Click on moss, make sure we're in the right spot. We click the erase thing, and we're just gonna erase. Whoa, what's happening here? Alright, I don't know why this is black. Why is it being weird with the colors? I just want to erase stuff. Alright, so let's see. Moss readable to all. Let's bring this down to 0.5, 0.5, aspect lock, tint. I don't want there to be any color. Whatever. I just want it to be erase. Yes, erase. What is this? Image paint. Paint. Make sure I've got the layer selected. I do. Alright, so this is clearly not working. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go like this. We're going to slick this, slick the layer, and go bye-bye. I'm going to zoom out, because I drew all this stuff too. Oh, that's the dirt around the beginning. Okay, I was wondering what it was. Alright, so this is entrance dirt. Alright, so it tells us what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some more moss and stuff to this area. So this section has one spot that's clear. This one right here is free from mold, and these two are free from mold as well. The mold in here is white. All right, so what I had done is I went ahead and when I did it last time, so we go to painting. We could also do it as layers, but I'm going to go to paint. I want it as the stamp tool, and I'm going to go to our assets. And I'm going to type in snow. Why snow? Because snow is white. And it looks like I have all selected, by the way. I used a couple different things last time. I used snow itself, and I used some snow covered shrubberies. See, so you can use snow like this, snow like this. You can use all these different things to indicate. I'm actually going to start with this one, I think. Poof. So we're going to make it slight green. Very, 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 very light. Because this stuff is supposed to be mostly white. Okay. Okay. We are at 1 by 0.8, so we're going to make it bigger. We're going to go with 2 by 1.5. We're stamping it. Paint. There we go. And now we're going to bring one thing I forgot to do. I'll put a couple of these full size, but I'm going to shift, hold shift, and use the mouse wheel to turn it. Now we're going to bring down the opacity. to about 85. It's perfect. And now we're going to go to control. We're going to bring it up, make it bigger. Shift, turn it. Going to be adding some more of it here and there. Let's flip it. Turn it with the shifty. We're going to bring it down with the control. Turn it with the shifty. So now we have a little bit more of a moldy feel to the room. We'll bring it down even, turn it some more. Bring it down just a smidge. Flip it. Flip it. So it sort of breaks up the monotony of the pattern. All right, so now we're going to go to, so this is what we're going to do for most of the rooms, is just have these different snow stuff. See, so now we can add some of these things in here, because in this particular room, and we're going to change this to white, almost white, there we go, and then we're going to bring the opacity way down to 50. Say okie doke. So now we can bring it down to control a little bit. Boom. So now we're putting in a little bit more of these things that look more fungusy, you know, a little bit more like tentacles, like feelers. All right, and I've got a couple different kinds. So I've got this guy. So let's go ahead and grab the fluffy. It's fluffy. Ooh, fluffy. Now we're going to just change the tint on this one. I'm going to leave it white. Bring this down to 50. And I lied. We're going to make it tiny bit green again. Okay, so boom. Bring down the control. And boom, we're just breaking up the pattern. So, and we can make these different sizes, overlap them, flip them. So you've got your room with the mold. Now let's go with some of this. We're gonna go up a little bit. Actually, we're just gonna go poof, poof. Sort of accenting parts of the room. Shift to, control to bring it down. Now we're going to change the tint to more green. And we're going to bring the and down to about 130. So we've got this light green. We'll smatter the white that we had before. Break it up a little bit with this light green. Alright, so we have this room. It looks like it is covered in mold. Now, this one is the same way. So this time we're going to start with this. Go to our tint. These are supposed to be a little bit grayer, so we're going to make it like a... Let's see what it looks like if we turn this way down. There we go. And we'll make it lighter. Turn on the blue a little bit maybe. There we go, a little gray. Alright, so now we're going to bring this up to about 100. So we have some mold spots and some leaves. But this whole room is supposed to be covered, except for one section. So we're going to start covering the room, shifting. Let's blow this up. Spin. Bring it down. So we've got a nice layer. Now we're going to break it up a little bit. So do the same thing. Let's take a look at this one. Say okay. Now we open up this one and it's got the similar. See what it looks like. Okay. Let's go up. Make it bigger. Alright, so it's like ice. Alright, so we'll just use this to break up the monotony. Gives you like a tendrils look. Flip. Flip. So again, it's just adding texture, adding a little bit of stuff. Say okay. Alright, so I don't want to do too much on the one paint layer. So I'm going to go ahead and switch off and add. So we're going to say this is East Side Moss. Now we're going to add another paint layer. Left side moss. Why? Because what everybody else was thinking. It's just too blatant. No, not going to do it. Alright, so let's go back to our other snow and see what else we have. See what other snow looks we have. I like this one. I like that one. Let's see what else we had on our previous page. So this one is a more darker green, gray. Let's see. We have So I'm going to start with some of these. Just throw these down. Boom. Tint is going to be like a gray. Start with green. I'm going to throw up the blue. Bring this way down. There we go. It's like a gray. All right. Now we're going to blow it up. There we go. We're going to blow it up. There we go. Look at that. Bam. Rotate it. Bam. Bam. Flip it. Flip it. Twist it. Pop it. Boom. I mean, this is nice. I'm liking this a lot. I'm going to blow it up a little bit more. And just cover this whole thing. Boom. Flip it. Twist it. Give me just a moment, folks. Alright, so you can see we have a nice covering of green in our sections. In this whole section. We don't want to get too crazy because then we want them to be able to see sort of what's going on. Little bit. We're going to add some shadows later as well. Let's throw some of this guy in here. We're going to add some, say okay, boom. Bring him way down even more to about 50. And again, blow him up. So this is again, actually we're going to change the color. We're going to make this one a little bit bluer. There we go. Shift. We're just going to throw some of him in here. So the cool thing is too, they aren't just looking at the entire map the whole time. So they won't see some of these patterns that you see typically. Now we'll go to green. Using the same pattern. All right. I'll be right back, folks. All right, so our moldy office building is coming together nicely. Let's throw in some more specific stuff. Like, how about this? We bring it out. There you go. See, and then turn it. Twist it, turn it, pop it, flip it. Use shift, turn it, boom. See, and now I'm just going to put this whole moldiness, grossness, boom. Flip it. Wham. See, and just like that, we have mold. And we can zoom it down, up, even, down. We can change the color just a smidge so it's not quite the same all the way around. Blow it up. All right, so I think we're pretty much good to go. I mean, we've got lots of mold, we've got lots of grossness so far. They said this one was worse, so let's add some more here. Let's add like this one. Say OK, and that will adjust it to this. We will zoom in, and we will make it bigger. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. See, so now it's just more. Again, we can change the color slightly to like a reddish. Now if we make it bigger and we put it like here, they just see this, these growths. All right, so there you go. Do one last check over here. We're pretty much done. I like how this looks. I like the way this is going. Let's throw just a little bit more of this. We'll just throw some white. We're going to turn it down. Cancel. We're going to go turn it down just a smidge, but we're going to blow it up. Because if anybody knows anything about fungus, there's usually, well, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Small, slow. Control, small. Click. Flip. And then we're going to bring it down even more. There we go. And we're going to bring it up. We're going to zoom out. I'm just going to slap some of these here and there. Usually where they intersect rooms. Again, just to break up the detail, break up the view. There we go. All right. Last thing I want to do is add some shadows. So I type in shadow. We're going to go with a new paint layer. This is shadows. We'll say office shadows. We'll click this. Now we go to our shadow tool, which is this one. Boom. Bring it down. Shift. Control. Boom. We'll bring it down just a smidge, about 200. Bring it down, boom, to this side, see? And if you don't want to be exact, boom, there you go. We add it to the walls. Just breaks up the walls a little bit. Now we rotate it. Work on these walls. Do the hallway. See, so we're just adding some depth to it. So we still have the mold, but now we can bring it down. Some definition as to where the lines are, where the shadow is. We could also draw it with the line brush, but it's okay. Just drop it in here on the cubicles. And what we're doing is we're adding it on top of what we already drew, so of the molds and stuff. So makes it gives everything a little bit more depth, so they can understand that yep, this is a mold, and it's taking over the office. Bring it down. All right, and now we flip it. Let's see, make sure we got everything. Yep, we'll do some up here. All right, so you see now we don't have this just plain black, plain green everywhere. Now we've got some shades, some shadows. We'll flip, add some to here, make it a little bit bigger. All right, see? It is looking pretty good. We are succeeding in our goal. All right, so let's zoom in here. So this one has, oops, race. There we go. All right, so we have a round shadow right here. Looking to see if we have any shadows that are curvy. No, not really. So what we can do is you take yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. That's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's go back to our stamp. What we can do is we can bring this in, we can make it much smaller and just shift and just add like some shade like this to this circle. Go back, bring it down just a smidge more to about 150. And just come in and hit those corners. And there you go. We now have a shaded table. So that is where I'm going to call it. I think we did overall a pretty darn good job of adding mold to this place. This one is supposed to be a lot heavier than the rest, and it is. And then we have this one that's supposed to be even that's heavier than the rest, and again it is. This one has one clear area, which it does up here. We do need to add a little bit more shade. I forgot to here. So let's go back to our assets. Office shadows. Find our shadow again. Boom. Wrong one. Which one did we use? Was it? What's 3x6? Okay, let's. Where's the reset? Reset. Oh, paint. That's why. Paint. Paint. And we want our shadow effect. Boom. We're gonna bring this down to 200. And then we're going to change the size, bring it way down. Rotate it. Make sure we're on the stamp. We can bring this up, make it bigger. I'm going to go ahead and leave this. I don't want too much thicker or wider. There we go. Rotate it. Bring it down. All right, so see, so now we have our shadows again. We have our, we need one up here. Rotate it. Boom. All right, so now we have some depth and some shadows to our stuff. Rotate it. All right, so now we're good. Don't really think we need it in here because we already have them. I'll do a quick addition, but that's not really necessary because the shadows that were there before are pretty good, so we don't really have to have them, but there you go. We'll rotate it. There we go. Okay, so I'm really satisfied with this. I like this a lot. I think it turned out really well. And so what will happen is, boom, boom. All right, so right now there's no lighting. There's no ambient lighting. So let's go ahead and turn off our view. There we go. So you can see some of these people have dim light and stuff like that. So the ambient light, we're going to go ahead and turn this on. The ambient light is going to be a preset of sunlight. Okay, and then let's add some shadows, some length to the shadows. I want the direction to be the opposite direction. There we go. Perfect. I like that direction. And yeah, that's fine. We're gonna leave it that way, except, so now what we do is we go to our mask. Add global mask, and then we remove hide area. We reveal area, so we go. No, it's the other way around. No. Okay, so now we go to hide area. So we see if this works the way we want it to. So we disable the mask, and then we reveal hide area. Why isn't it working? All right, so we've got the outside lights. All right, so for now, I think I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm not going to put the lighting on. Let's see, if we go to our lighting section and we go to our ambient light, if we just turn it off. Okay, so we can leave the ambient lighting on, and then when they go inside, we'll just turn it off. So we're going to add some lights here. I know I said I was done, guys. Sorry, I'm going to add a couple of lights. We're going to change them to candles, but with no flicker. The color is going to be this bright blue. Cancel. We'll zoom in. Color. Choose our color picker, and we go to this white, blue. Okay. And there we go. So dim is 5. And we're on add lights. Now we go click, 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 click. So we're adding lights. So what will happen is when we go here, we go to turn off the ambient light. Ticket. Perfect. That is exactly what I want. Back to lighting, turn on the ambient light. Go back to play mode. All right. Last thing I'm going to do is go to line of sight, go click, delete it. There we go. So now what that does is it gets rid of the shadow that was over here. All right, so because there is light coming through these doors, these windows, I'm going to add lights there as well. So it's going to be preset of a torch with no flicker, and we're going to make it bright 10, dim 20. Tweak the color to a little bit more orangey. There we go. We're in add color. Add light. Boom. All right, so there we go. We will remove line of sight. We'll enable lighting. Go to ambient lighting or turn it off. So when they're inside the room, it'll look okay. I have a little bit of light coming in from the outside. And that, my friends, is fine. What we wanted. Cool. We're done. We're ready to go. Folks, it's been an hour and a half. I hope you're still with me. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this was useful. Leave comments, like, subscribe, all that happy stuff. See how this plays out Sunday at 5:30. You'll see when they come in here, see my gorgeous map. I hope the coding helped as well. If you have questions, again, leave them in the thing. Come watch me. I normally do this every Thursday at 10:30 in the morning, give or take. And whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.